So for our next speaker will be talking about the remote sensing data science, or DATOS help desk. He is a researcher for space and mapping applications of DOST-ASTI and the tech lead of the DATOS project. Please welcome Engineer Roel M. De La Cruz.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I'll be presenting the remote sensing and data science help desk, the DATOS project of DOST-ASTI. We already heard about the PEDRO Center that captures data from our satellites, both from commercial and our own satellites. Another facility that we have here in ASTI is the Computing and Archiving Research Environment, or the core facility. It's an HPC facility that we use in processing those satellite images. So I would like to start with this challenge. During disaster response and monitoring or emergency activities that uses satellite images, we need rapid map generation. Sadly, traditional processes for remote sensing cannot cope up with those kinds of activities, especially when mapping very large areas. That's why the solution that we had in mind a few years back was to use artificial intelligence. So the DATOS project actually applies various methodologies. It was a directed research project by DOST, implemented in DOST-ASTI, that uses all previous DOST-funded geospatial projects and come up with support, geospatial support before, during, and after disaster events in the country. Since then, the DATOS project, since it already ended last February 2020, last year, it's been a service of DOST-ASTI. So for the applications that we develop, we can use them in infrastructure assessment and detection. So we can, Sir Bry earlier explained that there are subscriptions that are medium resolution, high resolution, and low resolution images. So this one uses a planet imagery that detects built up area across the country. So this is an example for Davao City, so Baguio City. So you don't have to digitize or manually classify these images. We've already developed AI models to detect them. If you are going to process, for example, temporal images like Landsat, you can go back in time and model how an urban area will grow in time. This is an example of 2013 versus 2016 expansion in Davao City. So you can now determine how large or what's the sprawl previously in the next few decades, for example. We also tried detecting damages from very high resolution images, and somehow it returned good results. Right now, our biggest activity actually is for agriculture and fisheries and resource management. So we develop applications to map seasonal crops. We tried them for sugarcane, rice, and corn using voice recognition machine learning technique to determine their temporal signatures and look for them across the country, to look for those unmapped sugarcane, rice, or corn, and develop a primary database or primary map, baseline data for all those crops. We also did prototypes of land cover from the 3-meter resolution imagery. This can be used by the local government agencies or our planning units to plan the next expansion or spaces within our municipalities. It can also be used in insurance or some other activities that needs the land cover or the land use of the area. We also applied it in mapping fish pens. This is an example of Laguna de Bay, and I think this is in Pangasinan. We also have another one in Bolinao. All of these aquaculture features are not digitized but already extracted by an AI. we partnered with the Philippine Statistics Authority actually to develop this for their Census of Agriculture and Fisheries, the nationwide Census of Agriculture and Fisheries for 2022. The same way, we also develop models to extract individual crops. For example, this one is a very interesting one. It's a very easy to do for coconut trees and mango trees because as of now we don't know how many million trees are there in the country, but maybe in the next few years, in 2022 or 2023, we will already have good statistics on how many of them and where are they. We also use these applications in disaster risk management. In ASTI, we also have the sensors. You can visit them actually in fieldSensors.asti.dost.gov.ph and check for the datasets. So we use them to determine areas with high interest or highly likely that a landslide or flash flood will occur. And using our satellites, we extract the extent of flood maps. So this one, we are releasing them publicly, so you can check our Facebook page, the DATOS Project. Just look, just type it in your search engines, and you can. We are releasing even the raw data sets, the shape files and KML files, so that everyone can use them in their studies. Another example of space technology applied is the landslide in Naga Cebu last time. Since we have satellite imageries here before the event, and the PEDRO Center tasked a satellite to capture another one after the event, so we were able to map the extent of the landslides and overlaid it with the location of houses and sent those data sets to our colleagues in Cebu City, who printed them in tarpaulins and put them in the command center and used in the search and rescue operations. Using the land cover AI models, as discussed earlier, we can use it in assessing earthquake damage. So this one, we just delineated the land cover of the site. If you remember the series of earthquakes in Mindanao a few years back, I think 2019, we identified those previously vegetated areas that suddenly became bare soil as potential landslide areas. So we can do this in minutes compared to days, weeks, or maybe years in manually surveying location extents of these landslides. But using space technology and artificial intelligence, we can do that in minutes. We can also apply the same in assessing extent of forest fires. So in total, the DATOS project developed various AI models that can be used in operations for mapping, in object detection, and segmentation. Also developed time series analysis for seasonal crops and some other applications that were processed on by when the need arises. So since then, we've been partnering with the various government agencies and academic institutions. So far, we had trained around 17 academic institutions on how to use our processes, and we helped more than 134 individuals in their research mostly. We've provided data sets for 46 government agencies and some 6 private companies. During the implementation of the project, if you're familiar with the data brew, so we started it. We had 3 of them. We had another kapihan together with PhilSA, I think last year or this year. And we had 4 artificial intelligence for Earth observation training during the implementation of the project, and 5 time series analysis workshops. So that's it for the DATOS project. Thank you very much.